Hello, geeks, and thank you for tuning in to our Talk of Thrones. It is our Game of Thrones Spoilercast for Season 6. I am Sam Sarvis. I am hosting this today. Not Josiah. He is not here. He's watching. But with me, I have Gene Williams, our good friend Jeff Dugan, who is our beta, and Andrew Garvey. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
How you doing, Sam?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm
Yeah?
good. It feels good being in the hot seat. All right, so first off, guys, what do you think about this season? Thumbs up, thumbs down, one up. What do you guys think? Thumbs up?
Oh, yeah.
Thumbs up? Do you think that this was the best season they have ever made?
Yeah, because it answered a lot of questions and like fan theories that we've had since the beginning.
Yes. What about you, Jeff? What do you think?
I mean, this has got to be the strongest season of Game of Thrones we've seen. Writing-wise, character development, we got everything. Like I said, we've got a lot of like satisfying moments in the season, and just the amazing cinematography in this season alone is enough to put it number one easily.
What about you, Andrew?
I gotta agree. This was just, I kind of agree with Beta. It was very cathartic this season. You finally some storylines are getting resolved, and we get some new stuff happening, which is it's nice. It was a good change.
Yeah, this was the first season that I actually took note of the music.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was top notch. I don't now I'm like going back and I'm like, maybe I should listen to the rest of this, the soundtracks and stuff. So, now that we're getting into it, what do you think about them actually finally talking about Jon's lineage?
Since the beginning, there has always been that R plus L equals J fan theory. And while they didn't expressly state that Rhaegar was the father, we got the answer.
So Jon is now a Targaryen.
Yeah, Targaryen. I like that.
So
I like that.
What did you think, Jeff?
Well, actually, I think the showrunners did officially announce that they said, nope, this is Rhaegar's child, Rhaegar and Lyanna. I think they could have left some mystery there.
Yeah.
I think they could have played against the theory a little bit more, but we got it. I mean, like, that last episode...
It's been 6 seasons.
It's ridiculous.
They needed to finally, confirm it.
Well, they didn't... I mean, the show didn't even tease it until we got to the Tower of Joy in this season. But, everyone's wondering, there's no way that Jon Snow is Eddard's son. There's no way. He's too righteous.
Mm-hmm.
And we got that. But I think it blew my mind in the sense that episode had so many endings. I was like, it could be done here. I'm good. With we're getting Tower of Joy.
It's like,
all right,
it's like Return of the King.
Yeah, exactly. How many
Ending
endings?
after ending.
That's right. I'm good. But no, we're getting the White Havens too. That's fine.
Do you guys like that they were like, yep, he's a Targaryen and a Stark?
Yes, because now it adds more to the whole theme of the books being called The Song of Fire and Ice.
Oh, yeah.
Jon is, a son of ice, and Dany is the fire.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Well, he's technically fire, too.
But he's...
Yeah.
These are
northern.
theories that have been going around since... I mean, the show's been on for 6 years.
1.
Yeah.
But
The
the
books.
books, this has been like 20 years.
Oh my
Everybody
God.
everybody has known for the longest time. We've known that Jon Snow is the daughter of Lyanna and Rhaegar.
Jon Snow's a daughter?
Or the son, I'm sorry. Thank you for the correction. I'm sure nobody would have understood that for context. But now it was like the lamest awesome reveal ever, because it's like, yeah, we knew this. Oh, look,
But
he's
it's
their
here.
son. It's like, oh, well, thanks for, I guess, making it official now.
Yeah.
I was happy to see it, and it was heartbreaking watching Ned get choked up when Lyanna's like, I don't want to die. And he's like, I'm trying to be brave. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Because it's probably been, how many, like a year or two since you've seen her?
Right.
Like Lyanna, since she was kidnapped
Probably at
and the
least.
whole war went on. But that part was heartbreaking. Did you guys catch that at Ned had the Sword of Mourning, and he put it down by Lyanna's bed before he went to her?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't
catch
catch that.
that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a little tidbit. Man, they stuffed this season full of that kind of stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
And so much foreshadowing that even the showrunners were like, yeah, we did that. Where it was like when they had Cersei hug Tommen and just give a little look like, you're going to die, and it's going to be okay. It was like the first
Yeah.
episode of the season.
Yeah.
Like after she makes the walk of shame, and they just have that stuffed it full.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that means that Daenerys is now Jon's aunt cousin.
Aunt Danny!
Yeah, yeah.
They can still hook up. They're
Oh, yeah.
Targaryens.
Yeah,
Heck
no,
yeah.
that's right.
Fact,
Gotta
it's a-
keep
it's
that
a- it's
bloodline
encouraged.
strong.
Yeah.
But aunt
It's actually
cousin.
less weird.
It's a little less
No.
weird.
Yeah.
They'd be cousins.
Rhaegar is her brother.
Brother.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Anyways, moving on. So the beginning of episode 10, the destruction of the sets.
Play of the game.
We knew it was coming. They were kind of hinting at it. They talked about the barrels of wildfire being under King's Landing. Never did I think that I thought they would use it when they were getting invaded. Never did I think Cersei would kill everyone
You know what?
to get her way.
Up until this season, Cersei was my most hated character. Like, I absolutely hated her. Was hoping every episode that somehow she was gonna die. But after this season, I started warming up to her because she created someone that I hated even more in the Faith Militant. And then she finally blew him up, and I was like, yes.
Yeah, you were waiting for the High Sparrow to get it.
And
Like,
did he get it?
episode 4 or 5, I think I was talking in the group chat. I'm like, will someone please just take these idiots out? I cannot stand them.
I love that Cersei just went into full Sith Lord mode too.
Yeah.
She did.
Like she was even wearing
She-
this
Like
black
black?
armor or something.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
ooh.
All I can
Tie
say
it to the
is,
shirt,
yeah,
alright? I see how to do that.
her smirk while she's sipping the wine and watching it just burn, she's like,
And I don't even feel bad for anyone that was in the Sept of Baelor. Like, Marjorie, I care less, because she's been in the show since season 2. She's probably been in 12 episodes out of the 40 that have been since season 2.
that is
So I really don't care.
that is the most unpopular opinion according to the internet. Everyone's like, Marjorie, no! If she would have just left her family, she could have survived. No, she would not have made it out. Like,
No.
there's no way. That thing took out an entire mile radius.
Yeah, I didn't
Cersei
care.
wanted
I
her
didn't
dead.
care that it took
Oh, yeah.
out Loras. I didn't care that it took out Marjorie.
Did you feel bad
Lord
about the
Tyrell.
random Bell guy?
Yeah.
Got smeared.
He's
Yeah,
just taking a
yeah,
moment.
random.
That was pretty
Bob and weave. Why wasn't he bobbing and weaving?
No one learns to run
Serpentine.
diagonal.
Serpentine.
Zigzag, come on!
Come on, Game
Um,
of Thrones, Westeros. They don't teach their good
No,
military.
they don't.
How did you guys
He got his
feel?
bell rung.
Was it Predator? Is that? No.
Nice.
Bing.
How did you feel about them using the children to kill
That was
Maester
messed up.
Pycelle? That I was like,
That was messed up, but I enjoyed it
uh,
because I like the darker things in life.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a soul.
it was just I was like there was a level and they were like, boom. I was like, oh my god, okay, this is actually going to happen.
I felt like they were
Yeah.
trying
Sharp.
Yeah.
really hard to make it let's do something really messed up. Let's have his little birds kill Grandmaster Pycelle. And I was
mess
kind of
up
wondering what was going to
what was,
happen there, but I mean that was just it seemed like almost too over the top. I don't know.
I think they had
I think it was just
to
right.
counter, to keep the intensity going for what was about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it worked. I think that the music, again, to go back to that whole sequence, if you just listen to the music there, you can see it perfectly. Because they
Oh,
matched
yeah.
it so well to that music.
Yep.
There's a horrible swell when they're just going full bore on
That
the Master
entire,
Pycelle.
I won't lie, I've listened to that soundtrack maybe 9 or 10
I bought
times
it.
already.
Bought it.
Yeah, that part, it starts off very calming and everything, and then it gets increasingly more ominous, more dark, more crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we see with the destruction of the Sept, is that Cersei is the Mad King, essentially.
Yeah.
Queen.
All hail the Mad Queen.
So now I don't know if I'm going to go back to hating Cersei now. Because I actually rather enjoyed her this season after hating her for 5.
Mm-hmm.
But now I don't know if next season I'm going to go back to hating her or... Well, I mean, I don't really care because Tommen's gone. He was kind of useless.
Yeah.
Poor
That's what
Tommen.
I
World's
thought
most useless
too.
king.
Not poor
Like,
Tommen.
I feel bad for Tommen.
I do too. He was
This
was
whole
manipulated
problem was
both ways.
caused by Cersei and Tommen. Cersei created the Faith Militant, and then Tommen kind of just went along with whatever
He was very
the High
easy to
Sparrow
manipulate.
wanted.
Well, you could argue that it was actually created by Cersei and Jaime way back, but
Well,
Yeah. So Tommen's dead. That, like, watching him just fling himself out the window, I was like, oh, okay. And, like, listening to the show creators talk about that scene,
Mhm.
they said that if Cersei had gone to him instead of going to torture the Septa, Unella,
oh,
he
man.
probably
Yeah.
wouldn't have jumped.
No.
She completely abandoned him, this very fragile child. Like, he just watched everyone he loves get blown to
but
smithereens.
he abandoned her at the same time.
Yes.
Because he got manipulated by the High Sparrow and said, no trial by combat anymore, ever.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
Yes.
The thing is, he's got two heads, and Homeboy was only thinking with one of them.
Oh, yeah,
If you know what I
absolutely.
mean?
Yeah.
He just wanted to get his wife back,
Yeah,
Yep.
he did.
and
And she wasn't giving him any. Remember, the High Sparrow was like,
yeah,
sleep with your husband. She's like, yeah. He's like 12.
it's a little creepy. It's a little
It's
creepy.
a little off. Something's not right here.
What also was, like, I think Cersei's depth and, like, jump into madness was Tommen was her last saving grace.
Mm-hmm.
She has no filter now. All she has is power. She's the queen now. I thought that it was incredibly dark that she was just like, let me see his body. I'm done with him. Burn him. Put him where the sept was. I was like, oh. Like, usually you'd have a funeral, you'd have people see him, and...
Right, for a king's funeral.
Yeah, for a king, you'd have everyone come see him.
Right.
She's just so ashamed of him that she just wants to pretend that he never existed in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
It's just... And then watching Jaime come in at the end, and he's just like...
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine that feeling of coming in and seeing your sister lover on the throne where your
Sister lover.
where
Your sister wife.
where your son should be?
Well, also consider he became the Kingslayer because he stopped the Mad King from doing exactly what Cersei did.
Right.
That's true.
Now he comes back and she had just done that, and he had to have known when you see that kind of destruction, and he knew about the wildfire.
wildfires,
So he must have known exactly what happened. Then he sees Cersei getting, basically her coronation, sitting on the throne. He had to have known what happened. So
Oh, absolutely.
there's going to be, I think, some bad blood between those
Well,
two.
the wrench there, though, is that the reason why he was so moved to kill the king, the Mad King, was because his family was threatened.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Lannisters were at the gates, and if the Mad King did what he wanted to do, not only would King's Landing be leveled, all of his family would also be killed. Because Jaime, and just like Cersei, were always kind of this counterbalance between I love my family, but I want my power.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Cersei's lost the one and she's just swinging loose, it's going to be hard for Jaime to balance that. I think, I know that the show creators also in a recent interview have said it's going to be a lot about Cersei's rule next season, which is going to be interesting. I'm ready to follow her. I don't think she's making it through the end of the season, but
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
but
Can we just talk about the King of the North real quick?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the White Wolf. Yeah,
John being named King of the Wolf. Or
King of the North.
King of the North.
Yeah.
King of the North.
Yeah.
And Lyanna Mormont just tearing in to all of these old dudes. Like, we called on you. You backed off. You cheated out. You were too scared. I'm a 10-year-old girl. I backed him up. Where the hell were you?
That was the best.
I also found it
And then they were like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, we're kind of, my bad. You're King of the North?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was almost too close. And they talk about this in the commentary. And I thought of it when I saw this scene. It was so similar to the other one where Robb was being proclaimed King of the North. I'm wondering what Jon Snow is going to do about it, because it would be weird if he did, made the same mistakes his brother did. So that'll be interesting to see in the next season.
What's going to be interesting also to see is when Bran somehow gets back in touch with Jon. How is Jon going to find out that he is Targaryen?
I'm wondering how he's going to have to prove it to him. Like, he
Yeah.
could be like, oh, hey, is he going to be able to touch Jon and take him back to when he was porn, essentially.
Or do we see a burning? That could be the interesting thing too. Do we see a dragon try to burn down, Winterfell, and John's just standing there like, what?
Yeah.
How did I survive?
Yeah.
Something like that. But it would be interesting. I'm excited for next season.
All right, guys. Well, that was our Game of Thrones spoiler cast, part 1. Tune in for part 2 if you really enjoyed it. We still have so much to talk about. Thank you, and follow us on our social media.
At E3 today, there was a lot of talk about a teraflop. So that begs the question, what is a teraflop?
Gene, playing NHL against Josiah.
Beta's E3 predictions.
Seth, pretending he's the money.
Nintendo.
Beta, making any reference whatsoever.
From the Urban Dictionary, when a male dinosaur takes off his pants.
The Geekiverse, keeping me in Michigan. You can't stop me.